Yo, 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 what's good with it, my guy?
Yeah,
Man,
man. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a very, very special episode of House Divided. Fresh off the Red River Classic, the man himself, the starting cornerback for the OU Sooners, Gentry Williams, has stepped into the house. Hey, we got to talk about the big win, talk about Gentry's humble beginnings, how he got to OU, and just talk some OU football and where they're going forward now that they're the number 5 team in the nation. So, without further ado, my name is Corey Hilliard. The man next to me, Brandon Hill, and then no other than Gentry Williams. We had a house divided. If you've been here before, you know what it is. If it's your first time, me Casa, Sukasa, B Hill, talk to him, and let's get this thing started.
guys, I ain't gonna talk to you too long. It's real quick. You already know what to do. Tap that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. It's right there next to it. Go ahead and like this video too. That helps us with the algorithm to where we can get our content out there to more viewers. Last but not least, guys, though, we always want to hear y'all drop down there in these comments. We want to hear from you guys. If you guys got some questions for Gentry in the comments, go ahead and drop them down there. So, without further ado, Corey, go ahead. Let's get this thing kicked off, man.
Gentry. So let's start off with this, man. Before we get into how you got to OU and your travels through youth playing football, let's talk about the interception on the first drive because me and
Yeah.
B Hill last week when we did our preview show for the game, I said two things had to happen: that y'all had to get early turnovers, right, and jump out and get the lead early for y'all to win the game.
Yeah.
So, before we talk about your humble beginnings, talk to me. What happened on the play? Did you foresee it happening like that? Were you surprised you got the interception? Talk to me. How did that feel?
Yeah. I mean, I think first and foremost, I think, you being an athlete too, you always know that you play the game before you ever play the game. And like that was one of the plays that I had seen in my head on Wednesday. Like I knew if they got into a certain set that, this receiver have a certain amount of routes he would run. So I think just anticipation in the film room and, like I said over, just playing the game in my head before I even got on the field really was that.
The crowd roared because it's the first drive of the game, right? It's the
Mm-hmm.
Red River Shootout. All
Mm-hmm.
right, playing in that stadium in Dallas at the State
Yeah.
Fair, you made the first impactful play of the game. Your play set the tone
Yeah.
for the way the rest of the game went. How loud was that crowd roar? How did that feel? And then the video of you hugging Venables coming off
Uh-huh.
the field. Explain to me that feeling.
Yeah, man. It was unreal. Unreal. Like you could almost feel the ground shaking like it was that loud. Like it was something that I've never been a part of. And after I got the pick to CNV and he was excited and telling me, that's why you're in, stuff like that. It was a good moment.
Heck yeah.
That's what's up,
Heck
man.
yeah. Heck
Yeah.
yeah, man. Man, growing up, you were always a Sooner fan growing up in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
I'm big on Oklahoma recruiting and everything. So
Yeah.
I look at all the backgrounds of all the
Mm-hmm.
players, everything else. I graduated from Bartlesville, Oklahoma in 2010. So in
Mm-hmm.
09, 2010, Booker T was actually 5A whenever I was in high school. But anyways,
Yeah.
man, growing up though and actually getting to play in this
Mm-hmm.
particular game, the Red River rivalry, and of course
Yeah.
you were a freshman last year. You didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
You dealt with
Yeah.
some injuries, everything else. Bring me full circle here, Gentry. What was that like, my guy?
I think like you kind of said it for me. I think having that Oklahoma background and me being from the state of Oklahoma and like I think everybody it's almost like a holiday around here that when the Red River rivalry is in the state of Oklahoma. Like that's not a game that's goes missed. I remember being a kid and our coach would break down our Saturday game early because he wanted to go home and watch the Red River rivalry. Like I remember that vividly, like stuff like that. So like being not able to play in the game and when we got to drive to the fair, that's something that like it's unremarkable, just being able to be a part of it. And I was truly blessed to have this opportunity.
That, Corey, before you ask your next question, right
Yeah.
there, my guy, that's what's different at the University of Oklahoma right now. Post Lincoln Riley with Brent Venables there, man. We got players from Oklahoma. We got guys that want to rep this OU on their chest. And man, it's just, as a fan of Oklahoma, I'm 32 years old, Gentry. I've been a
Hmm.
fan ever since I was a kid, man. And
Yeah.
It's just thank you.
No,
I love
no,
this. Let's keep this thing going. But go ahead, Corey.
most definitely.
How was the recruiting process? Me and B Hill were kind of talking about you before the interview.
Hmm.
Was there anybody else that was in play for you, or was it just once OU gave you that scholarship offer, it was a wrap? How did that go?
Hmm. Well, OU came after me pretty early. I want to say I was in ninth grade when I had got an offer from Oklahoma. I had a really good relationship with that prior staff, but it's really crazy because like in the later part of my recruitment, USC was recruiting me, but it was Clay Helton and that staff.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a genuine relationship with their DB coach. This is before Riley was even considered being the head coach there. Like I think they had came off a really good year. I want to say they were like 9-2, 9-3. They had a really good year previous year with Clay Helton. And so when he had got fired, I really kind of stopped talking to USC because I had committed to OU. And then and then Lincoln had went to USC, and I was just like, I was confused, because it's like
Yeah.
if I didn't go to OU back in when I had committed the first time, I was gonna go to USC. Like I already knew that. And then so when he flipped, it was like, wow, like it was just weird for a little bit.
Yeah, what was that like, Gentry? I mean, making that decision, you're still looking at Oklahoma, of course, but
Hmm.
Lincoln Riley's gone now. He's over
Yeah.
there. You had a relationship with Lincoln
Hmm.
Riley. Now he's at USC. So I know there was like, man, come
Yeah.
on over here to USC. How hard was that?
I think it was a lot tougher than what people actually think because I think people get it a little too personal in the recruitment game. Like
Right.
at the end of the day, Coach Riley has a family. He has, his people that he has to take care of first and foremost.
Hey,
So
I
like
ain't mad at him.
yeah, like he made a decision
Shoot.
that he felt like was best for him and his family at the time. And I feel like when I understood that in the recruitment process, that made me less mad. Like obviously I was upset because of how everything went down, but like I mean, I was being recruited after he left the USC. I was. I'm not gonna say I'm lie, but like I
Right.
think my overall connection to and my overall want to be a Sooner is what I think what kept me home.
And then Brent Venables. I mean, you being a
Yeah.
defensive guy, that's going to be
Hmm.
your head coach. Come on now, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Most
It's a
definitely. You
no-brainer.
already know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the mindset of the team going into this Red River shootout, man, because I'm not gonna say I was a doubter, but there's some
Shoot,
talking
don't lie.
points.
Don't
No,
lie.
no.
Don't
Well,
you
let's hop
lie.
on you real
You,
quick.
you,
When we
you
did the
picked
preview
Texas.
show,
Hey,
who
before
did
the
you pick?
season, it was before the season started. So,
Yeah.
hey,
Okay, okay.
and then I said,
Hmm.
what did I say though before the game? I said, hey, since I've seen what these teams have done through the first 5 weeks of the season,
Uh-huh.
it's Oklahoma. I picked y'all 31-24. You can go back and watch the
I
show.
Okay.
appreciate that. Yeah.
It's on tape.
Appreciate that.
It's
All
on
right.
We
tape.
appreciate
But
that.
the question
Shoot.
was, because he didn't let me finish, the question was the doubters were saying that you guys hadn't really
Hmm.
played anybody yet. And I was a
Hmm.
part of it. And I did
Yeah.
say that Texas had gone into Alabama and beaten the number 3 team at the time in Alabama. And so
True.
to
True.
me, that gave me a little bit more confidence in Texas. What was it in your locker room? Do y'all hear the outside noise? Do y'all hear people saying that? What made y'all so confident? Because I've seen clips after the game of Jalil Farouk standing at the 50 as they're running
Yeah.
out, barking at Texas. You guys seem supremely confident. What
Hmm.
made y'all so confident that you knew you could beat Texas in that game?
Well, I think first, like you said, do we hear the noise? I mean, nowadays you're always going to hear what people say. It's a matter of like I think with something that Coach Venables always says that really stick with me. He says, "Why would you value the opinion of someone you wouldn't seek advice from?" So
Mm,
when he says that all the time, that's something that really sticks with me because it's like you're gonna see, Fox Sports or ESPN talking about, and rightfully so. It sells. It's good for publicity and everything like that. But like, I think that we had belief in each other and we had belief in the locker room what we could accomplish. And when people say that we haven't played nobody, I mean, we play who's on the schedule at the end of the day. You can't just go play whoever you want to play
Absolutely.
and be. You can't roll up to a Georgia and be like, "We want to play you on Saturday." I mean, y'all both know that don't. That's not how it works.
right.
Right.
We play who's on the schedule, you know. I want to say I know for a fact out of 2 of the games prior to even coming to Texas, we were predicted as the upset game. Like I want to say SMU were predicted upset, Cincinnati were predicted upset. So it's like going into Texas, that wasn't the first time that we had haters, and I bet this is not going to be the last time we have haters. I mean, it's just a matter of we believe in the person next to us, and we believe in the man who's leading us.
Absolutely. Coming into this game, though, I mean, the media, they tried to ask questions about it, everything. The 49-0. How big? Because I heard story that's like it was somewhere posted in the locker room, like Brent Venables had it as like somewhat of a message, like in the medicine balls with Smitty, the workouts that you guys had to do. Talk to me about that. What was the motivation leading up to this game that the coaches laid out?
I think it was a motivation of I think last year not only were you embarrassed on the team, but like your family was almost embarrassed. Like I mean, we had people who family come across the country to come to that game and then lose 49-0. That's like them buses couldn't leave any faster after that game. Like let's just be honest. So like let's just be real. So I think like the medicine balls with Smitty, like that's real. Like that's real. Like it was set in stone. Right when we came back from January, like that's not gonna happen again. Like that was laid out very, very early. But I can like Coach Venables said, like he wore it on his sleeve more than anybody else in the facility. So if your head man was able to take it to the chin and understand what that he put us in some bad situations, he admitted it. I'm pretty sure he admitted it to the media too. But we all took it to the chin. We all learned from it, and I think it all shaped us for the better, to be honest.
Absolutely. Corey, what you got?
Look, can we talk about the vibe now? Me and B Hill were talking about the vibes in Norman a couple of days after that game. What's the vibes been like on campus, man? Y'all got to be some rock stars walking around campus right now, right? Like, what's it like? Are people running, patting y'all on the back? Is it a different vibe?
You're always gonna get those type of people that they always believed, or you're always gonna get that story that that they were always rooting for you, which is it's fun in the moment. But I know it's in the locker rooms vibe, like with us being a bye week, it's not an off week, it's a bye week. So, we still got half a season that we got to prepare for. We're not trying to rest on our laurels, and we beat Texas, it was fun, but we got to move on.
Yep.
I do, Norman it's probably really fun right now, but I know in the locker room that's not the main focus, and I do give credit to Coach Venables for that.
I look at it this season, and of course the defense is much, much, much improved. Our defensive back room, the one that you're a part of. I mean, you got guys like Peyton Bowen. You got guys like yourself. You got Woody Washington on the other side. I mean, you got Kendall Dolby. Speak to me how different that room is this season compared to last season.
I think everybody pushes each other, that's the biggest thing. And it starts with Woody, Woody and Billy Bowman and Keith Lawrence. They've set the tone very early on. And I think it's carried over from the spring into the summer. And no one wants to be average in the room, I think not just in the corner room, but just in the safety room as well combined. Like we all want to make plays. Like everybody wants to be part of it. And there's people that, they might not have gotten an opportunity, but like they're just as hungry. And I think that's what keeps everybody on their toes. I know for me, like, it's open competition every week at practice, and I think that's the way it needs to be continued. And I think that's what's helping us right now.
Absolutely.
They're calling this the best defense that OU's had in the past 10, maybe 12 years. This is the standard of defense that when I played at Oklahoma State back in the early 2000s, OU was known for running the ball and having a great defense, right? Can y'all take it to another level? Is there another level that this defense can get to? And how much does winning this game in the turnovers? You with the pick, the other pick in the end zone. I forget who broke that play up on the tight end on the Billy Bowman hit him right in the chest with his shoulder.
Yeah. And they were high school teammates.
Were they really?
They were high school like best friends growing up.
And then
Man.
who hit Quinn when Quinn was
Peyton Bowen.
So
Yep.
I mean, all of those plays, except for your interception, was more of a hitty, like but the other two turnovers was like some hard hits.
Yeah.
That's the OU defense. I remember. How much is this game going to give you confidence for y'all to take it to the next level? Because to win these last 6, to get the Big 12 championship and get in the playoff, there's got to be another level that y'all go to.
You're completely right. I think it's also something to build off of. But I think practice. We got to continue to practice very, very hard. That's where it starts, and like that's got to be I think Coach Venables always says that has to be the advantage for us is how we practice, and I think if we want to achieve those goals that people have out for us, we have to continue to take it day by day and just keep our head down and be humble.
Man, let me ask you this: Is Dylan Gabriel Heisman watch? Is he getting slept on? What's your opinions on that, man? I know that's always something that goes around the locker room. Everything. Your guy DG, man, give me his Heisman candidacy.
I mean, he putting up some numbers.
Be his pitch man. Be his pitch man real quick. Hype him up.
Let's be real. Like he's putting up numbers. Like he did it on the biggest stage. He proved his worth. Why not? Why should he not why should he not be in New York right now? Through 6 games.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's put his numbers are up there with the best of them in the nation.
That's what I'm saying. But why should he not be in New York?
And then you look at our defense, man. Y'all got 15 turnovers forced through the first 6 games. 15, my guy. Y'all leading the nation. I mean, dude, what's in the juice over there in Norman, man? Tell us something. What are y'all doing, man? Like, how do y'all flip it from a 6-7 team last season to where you guys are at now? How do you do that?
Well, we have I know it's been talked about. I know for a while that we have a practice on Tuesday. We call it Tanoga Tuesday, takeaways and no giveaways. So that's our full padded practice. Like we're going at it with the offense, and I mean, you Corey, you obviously know how I get on one day a week. It's just you got to grind it out.
Oh yeah, it's a work day.
That's our work day. So we call it takeaways, no giveaways, and we used to watch a video of the teams who had to lead in takeaways, and it's turnover margin last year, and we weren't on that video at all. So it was just that internal motivation. Everybody man, I'm tired of watching such and such. I'm trying to watch us,
Yeah.
So and then with that flip switch.
Man.
Yep. All right, I'm about to share something with you. We talked about all the good stuff, but there is a second half to the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at this schedule, big dog.
Mm-hmm.
You got a revenge game against TCU, last game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You go to BYU. You go to Kansas. And then this Bedlam game. So I know I'm trying to phrase this question in a way where you don't give me the company line. You know what I mean? I know if Brent were watching this, he wants you to say you're excited for all of them. But is there out of the 6, can you at least pick 3 that are going to be pivotal games or something that you can really get up for?
If I could be honest with you, 100% honest, this is the first time I've actually seen the order of the last 6 games. I knew we played UCF and we played Kansas. I did know that, but I didn't know when Bedlam or any of the other games were.
Right.
So I didn't know. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't know the rest. So
well, just forecasting it for you, man. Y'all gotta. The UCF game at home, I think that should be a good one. That'll be on ABC. The Kansas game is interesting to me because they do have a solid team. The OSU game, that's the last Bedlam. That one's interesting to me. And then there's this one against BYU in Utah at Provo. I think if you guys get through this 6-game slate unscathed, there's one big one that we don't know who that'll be, but me and B Hill are pretty much in agreement that there's going to be a Red River Part 2. How much would you want another part of Texas?
I'm not gonna sit here and say I wouldn't want another part because that game was like unreal, unreal. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I wouldn't want another part, but I want to play, you know, anybody to be honest.
We're ready.
I wouldn't mind playing OSU 2 times for for that last joy round or
Oh,
like just something like rememberable. West Virginia's playing really good football right now, I heard. I
yeah,
think they're 4-1.
yeah.
Kansas, they're playing really good football right now. So it's just like to say, do I want to play Texas again? Well, I mean, I don't care. We'll play Texas again. That's not like, we'll
Play
play whoever's on
whoever.
the schedule.
Play
Yeah,
whoever. I can dig it. I can dig it, man. That's why we number
and like,
5.
and
Tell
I,
him,
yeah,
Gentry.
and I don't want to sit here and knock Texas because they're a good football team. They got a really good thing going on. They got some
Right.
quality wins just as well. But
Right.
right now, UCF, we're getting ready for that.
I know y'all just focus on that, so I tried to bait you. That was my best bait job.
Hey,
Yeah, I tried to
man.
give you as much as I could.
I appreciate it. I know
Hey,
you're going for it.
hey, it's
Yeah,
1 week at a time, man. We got UCF
yeah,
this next week. We got to go 1-0, and then we keep
yep,
just focusing. We just got to stay
yeah,
focused.
yeah.
That's a BV led player right there, Corey. You ain't gonna catch him off
I
guard,
can
man.
tell. I
Come on
always
now.
try to trip them up. I try with every OU player we've had on here to get them to say something. Get them to
And
say something crazy.
none of them do. None of them do. None of them do.
Yeah.
Man. Going back, I do want to ask your opinion on this one though. The goal line stand in that Red River game.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
man.
Gentry, how
Mm-hmm.
big was that, man? Like through the rest of your team, how big was that play? Whenever we stopped them 4 times in a row.
I think not only did it symbolize so much in the game, but it symbolizes so much of what we're trying to build at OU. The culture. Let's be real. When was the last time OU's had a goal line stand like that? Where you knew a team was gonna run the ball the first couple plays. Like you knew that 1st and 10 it was gonna be a run play.
You want me to be real? On
Yeah.
the real? I thought they was about to score on us on that one.
Like you can be honest.
Everybody did.
Just as a fan, I was like, man, they about to go right up the
They
middle.
put the 2 big boys in too. They put those 2
Yep.
D tackles in there, and y'all
Yep.
stuffed them, man.
It was
Because
too
it's
predictable.
I just think it's like that's something that like symbolizes our program and like that we needed, like you knew what they're gonna do, they knew what we were gonna do, and let's just see who can really, buck down and stop each other. Like that's what that really symbolized.
Right.
Right. Man, talk to me what the meetings are like with the Brent Venables led team. I mean, I watch all the episodes like the OU DNA shows that they do and everything on you guys. And I see like the meeting, and I've also heard like if the meeting's not going the way he thinks it is, it's not good. Talk to me about that. What's that like?
Intense. Intense. Because I'm one of so the back 7 we meet with V every day. So like I don't know if they even I watched a couple of the episodes, but I don't think they ever did an episode with V. And
Coach Fly, I don't think they have.
Yeah, like so we meet with V every day. Like I won't imagine that. So yeah.
Talk to me about that then, Coach Fly. What's he like as your position coach, as a coach?
Just as intense, a technician. Like him and V are very similar, and they can critique anything. Like they're not you're obviously they're gonna pat you on your back when you do good, but like you're rarely gonna get a perfect play. You're rarely gonna get a perfect play. Like there's always something you could have did better. And he's the first to admit it. Like his job is not to make you feel good, but to make you get better. And he's always finding that little maybe if you did this, you could have got there a little bit faster or something like this. Like that's always what they're looking for. And it's real intense meetings, all the way up till Friday. Like even on a Friday morning when we're having a meeting, it's still intense. A Saturday 8:45 meeting on an 11 a.m. game. That's an intense meeting. Like really, like he live and die in that meeting room.
I love it.
So it's not like there's no meeting where you're like, let me get on my phone or let me relax. Like no. You're gonna have that pen and paper until we get into that stadium.
You better not get caught on your phone.
It's a real meeting until literally it's.
What happens to a player if they get on their phone in that meeting room? I don't think that anybody ever does, do they?
Nah, I haven't like. Well, V will have you. I'm not gonna say he have you so scared, but like you're gonna be so locked into that meeting.
Yeah,
Like you gonna have your notes. You know, if he asking you a pop quiz question, you gonna make sure you know it.
right,
Yeah,
right.
all that.
Hey,
Absolutely.
B Hill, who's number 40 Downs? What's his first name?
Ethan Downs.
Who taught Ethan Downs to putting on some gloves and wristbands? Because I've been begging for that for
Yeah,
like a
he
year
needed
and a
that.
half.
Yeah,
Because
his
his
drip was
swag,
terrible.
his drip was terrible, right?
Yeah, his drip
And
was
I feel
terrible.
like he's playing better because he's got the gloves and wristbands on. Who was
Yeah,
responsible for that?
That man,
probably
hey, yeah,
somebody,
you did.
probably somebody in the D line room because that was bad. Like, let's just be honest. Like, you can't like
Bro.
I'm
Acceptable.
quick to say like, man, you drip terrible, bro. Like, you look bad. You look bad. Like you going out here looking sad, bro. Don't.
Yeah,
It's a true embarrassment, bro. Like, what you
yeah,
doing? Like,
yeah. We're especially when you're sponsored by Jordan. I mean, come on now,
yeah,
everything's
like,
available.
bro.
You need to be like, come on, get dripped out.
Come on,
Sure.
man.
Yeah,
Who's the
Yeah.
funniest guy on the defense? Who keeps it lighthearted at practice and around the building?
Key
And,
Lawrence.
yeah.
Key Lawrence. Like, he knows in like a dark moment, he might say like a funny joke or like in a real serious moment. Cause like, you know how it goes. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like it's normal. But Thursday, Friday, it start to get real serious. Key might say a joke on a Friday meeting that just might enlighten the room that you might need sometimes.
right, right.
So he probably.
Something I wanted to ask you had mentioned earlier, kind of like how Woody Washington, being the senior, he's kind of one of those leaders. Some of the freshmen that came in, like a Josiah Wagner, you had a Kendall Dobie who's coming over from JUCO, everything. Have you kind of taken any kind of a leadership role with some of those guys? Like, hey, man, this is how we practice. This is what we do, such and such.
Mhm. Yeah, I try my best, but like I'm a more of a sit back and just relax. Like, I try to tell them all the time, like the meeting room is where you're gonna get better. You have to prepare. You have to prepare. I do tell them that and stuff like that. But um, I show them by actions. I try to. If I'm going up to go meet with the coaches, I make sure I always text the group so they know. I'm not, trying to leave anybody out.
Okay.
But I do in my ways, some a little bit. Yeah.
Something that you need to tell Oklahoma, though, they need to make like some little wildcat plays or something for you. Because your days back in high school, man, when you were playing quarterback for Booker T, you were
Yeah.
out there balling on them boys. So you
Yeah.
need to tell the coaches to install a little wildcat play for
A
you, man, on
little
offense.
formation.
A
I
little
need to do a
something,
little formation.
something.
Yeah.
Show off that speed, man.
Most
And
definitely.
me being a coach at Booker T, I hear the Gentry Wildcat stories a lot, how good an athlete he was. You do know it is homecoming this week. You coming down? You gonna make
I
an
heard it was, yeah.
appearance?
I had talked to Coach Brown today. It was what, U.S. Grant this weekend?
Yeah.
Man, I need a
Yeah.
win, man. I need to see a win first and
Bro.
foremost. That's that. I guess we'll have to talk later about that.
Nah, we can talk about it now, Gentry, bro. We on a struggle bus, bro. We on
Man,
a
talk to
struggle
me. Talk
bus.
to me. Is
It's
it
just
is it a
it's a
young
young
team?
it's a young team. I can say this, they immature right now. And that comes along with being young. The quarterback's a sophomore. Probably most of our best players are sophomores and and freshmen. Right. And so out of this freshman class, OU's gonna be recruiting some of these guys. For sure, Joseph Graves, he's probably our best player to D tackle. So it's just a real young team, man. And sometimes for a young team, you got to lose before you know how to win.
Yeah.
And
Because I remember, like, you can continue.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I remember my senior year we had played Muskogee and they were extremely young. And we beat the brakes off them, but I think now they're like undefeated.
The
Number one
number one
team.
team, the number one team is
Yeah.
6-2A. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just something you gotta go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I wish whenever I played high school ball that we had the 6A1 and the 6A2, because being up there from Bartlesville, I mean, we weren't like gangbusters or anything out here. We went 9-3 my senior year, made it to the second round of the playoffs, lost to Southmore. But we went through those 1-9 my sophomore year, 5-5 my junior year, and then 9-3 the last year. But man, we had to play against the Jinxes, the
Personally, I wouldn't
Muskogees.
mind doing that.
No,
Obviously,
absolutely.
yeah. Like honestly, I don't know how the outcome would have been, but like being able to play at Jinx or Union,
It
I
was
would have loved it.
crazy.
I
No,
would have
it was
loved it.
great. It was great. They just kicked our ever living ass. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? So they
I
whooped
would
us.
have
They
loved it.
whooped us.
Well, man,
Shoot.
look, we know your time is precious. I don't have anything else. B Hill, you got something else before we cut them loose?
Man, I ain't got nothing else, Gentry. I appreciate you, man, for coming on here with us tonight and doing this show. That's all I got, man. Boomer Sooner, go out there, win the rest of these games. Let's go get a chip, man. We're long overdue.
That's the goal. You know what I mean?
Yep,
I think
absolutely.
everybody knows that. We're gonna continue to work really hard. Day by day to achieve that.
Hey,
No
it's
doubt,
showing.
man.
It's showing.
We pulling for you. Everybody at Booker T, man. When you made the interception, all of the coaches on the group chat blew up. So, man, we got you on our minds, man. We're proud of you. Keep up the good work. I'm not gonna say Boomer Sooner, but I will say Hornet Sting. How about that?
I will.
Yeah, and I see the hoodie, man. I'm gonna have to get some underneath that hoodie. Yeah, I got some new drip over there.
Yeah, JB might have an extra one laying around the office. So if you come to homecoming, you might snag one. You just gotta show up.
I might have to. I'm gonna show up. I told him I'll come holler at him. I will.
Okay.
All right, brother. Well, close us out, B Hill.
All right, then, guys. Hey, Gentry Williams again. Thank you for coming on to the show tonight, guys. Hey, if you guys are with us up to this point, you have not hit the subscribe button. Why in the hell not? This is just the start of many. We're getting players on, guys. You guys are going to want to see the content that we got for you guys. Again, drop down there in those comments. You got any kind of questions at all? But as always, just hit that subscribe button, tap that thumbs up, and go ahead and hit that notification bell. But as always, guys, peace out.
Peace.